Welcome to the 420 Virtual Summit. My name is Candace Clark, and this is the Mental Health and Medication segment. Today we have Jessica Christine she's the founder and creator of the Karma Wellness app. She is a licensed massage therapist. So, welcome, Jessica. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. Thank you, Candace. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hope everyone's doing well.
Definitely. Can you tell us where you're coming in from?
Well, currently being remote and quarantined, I'm in Los Angeles, but originally I'm licensed massage therapist in the state of New York.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So I know with everything that's going on right now with the COVID-19 pandemic, many of us, like you said, are isolated. We are, unable to go about our normal routine, whether that be exercise or just getting outside. So we really want to talk about how isolation may affect our mental state and what we can do while we're at home in order to combat, certain symptoms, whether that be like anxiety, pain, or physical ailments or depression. So, can you tell us a little bit about your background in massage therapy?
Okay, so I've been a massage therapist since 2012. So for just about 8 years, I've been a massage therapist, and I have seen a little bit of everything that you mentioned: anxiety, depression, pain. Mostly pain is what I work with, and the anxiety and the depression comes along with people who have long-term pain. uh, the thing is about people who are injured, have old injuries, or have injuries that didn't heal very well. They live with pain. They tend to be a little bit more sedentary. They stay in the house, kind of like the situation that we're in right now, right? So if you're not moving about as much, if you're not out in the sunlight as much, that can bring on the lack of vitamin D, can bring on a lot of depression, or, just uncertain feelings, feeling different than you usually feel. And the lack of movement, which means also the lack of blood circulation, it kind of dampens everything. It dampens your immune system. It dampens your energy. It kind of brings you to a point where you sleep all day and you're still tired. It brings you to a point where your body starts to feel aches that you didn't feel before. And it's all because you're not moving around as much, or you're not getting out and getting the proper nutrients and vitamins from the outside atmosphere.
Yeah, it's interesting how that works. That's actually one of the reasons why we do like make it a point to come outside, kind of get some sunlight, move around. So, what are some things that you would suggest, for the people who are at home and can't really get outside and get that sunlight? What would you recommend that they do from home?
Okay, so just being in the house alone, I would definitely say try to create a routine, a habit for yourself where you have activity every single day. So get up if you're used to whatever you're used to doing. If it's get up and go to work and get dressed every day, but you can't do that anymore, still get up, take a shower, get dressed, and prepare for your day. That's the first thing. That's because if you have something to look forward to, your mind will, stay focused on something, even if you're doing nothing. And then always have a set physical routine, right? So this is movement, basically. So most people think of movement like just actually going outside, doing something, or like physical, like heavy, intense physical activity. And there are other forms of movement that you can do when you're in the house, especially if you live in a small space, right? So another form of movement could just be stretching, right? Stretching opens up the muscles, the passageways to let blood through. And if you have good blood circulation, then you have good nourishment in your body, right? So stretching is a good way to get movement in when you can't go out, or there isn't enough time, or whatever the case is. Movement as far as stretching is a good substitute for when the gym shut down, right? Or something like that. So another form of movement is, of course, body work, like massage. Like most people don't think uh, massage would be considered movement because you're probably like laying still on a table for about an hour. But really and truly, the manipulation of your body through massage is the movement of blood. It's the movement of nutrients throughout your body. And it's just the movement of your muscles, manipulating them the way that massage therapists do. So those are good forms of movement. Another thing could be like, which I'm pretty sure a lot more people are getting more of, which we didn't usually get, was rest. just replenishing yourself, right? So just like staying away from the things that kind of get you overwhelmed, overstress your body. So from the time that I've spent in the space of massage, a lot of the times your body is tense because of the overwhelm or the stress we put ourselves in, whether it's like we're worrying about something or it's physical stress without enough rest. Those things all alter the functional state of your body. They increase tension in your body. It puts your central nervous system on alert, on high, which also creates tension in your body. So it's just creating a habit of a Zen space. It doesn't have to be all like woo woo or anything like that. Just staying away from the things that would put you on edge. Yeah.
Okay. So it's funny that you mentioned that as well. So, becoming overwhelmed. I know a lot of us are watching, the news and listening to all the different numbers and the deaths and people being ill. So what would you recommend as far as like limiting that stress? Like, you want to be informed, but at the same time you don't want to overwhelm yourself. So how would you say we should deal with that?
I definitely think that once again, habit, creating a habit where you set a certain time of the day. If you want to watch the 9 o'clock news in the morning or the 9 o'clock news at night, you pick one time of the day that you're going to be informed and leave it at that. Other than that, create habits around, activity to keep yourself focused, learn something new or something of that sort. But I definitely think that if you're a person that is overwhelmed based on information, I was in that at that point in this process as well. I basically it prompted me to do things in a from a bodywork perspective based on the knowledge that I have. The first thing that I did was I started infusing oils that I could rub on myself, on my body, to help me like calm down. So infused oils, herbal infused oils help with that. Also, just if I before I started to infuse the oils, I just use essential oils, put them in the corner here or there to just change the mood in the house. Something a little bit more uplifting, like the lemongrass and the orange oils, which are my favorites. They're a little bit more fun and animated, and like the flower oils, rose oil, neroli. Those are also more calming. Clary sage, lavender. So as far as like offsetting the feel, it was just a combination of limiting the problem and adding more to the solution. So the oils helped with that, right? And just getting back into like different types of wellness or body work, right? So I started listening to more like calming sounds, running water. I like to hear the rain, things like that. And it's calming. It just settles you a little bit and it keeps you still. You're not just like hyped up or overactive about anything. It kind of diverts your mind to a space where you're not thinking about anything in particular. You're just on a calm, cool note.
Definitely. So you talk about creating like a Zen space around you. So what are some things that may be around our homes that we can use to create that type of environment?
Okay, cool. So that's I like this. So if you look in your kitchen cabinet, you might find a couple of things that can help you out. You have most people have oils in their cabinets. Coconut oil is really popular. I personally like grapeseed oil because I tend to use oils for massage. If I
Right.
can eat it and it's healthy, then I use that on the body, right? So grapeseed oil, coconut oil, olive oil, those oils are pretty much the go-tos that you may find in your kitchen cabinet. And you can, if you might have, some people may have some clove and maybe some nutmeg or maybe some cinnamon sticks. You can put it in a pot and boil it, right? That alone, it'll change the scent in the house. It'll change the activity in the house. A little bit more warming kind of feel to the house. Kind of, I guess you could say Christmassy. Something that's a little bit more cherry with the spices. But if you don't have essential oils, you can just go right to your kitchen cabinet and find something in there that'll help change the atmosphere around you. You can
Okay.
even toss lemons in there. If you have a few lemons, throw some lemons in some water and boil it, and that'll give you like the lemony fresh feel.
Definitely. So can we talk about some different fragrances that might set a specific mood? Like, for instance, if I'm a little tired, I want to kind of, wake myself up a little bit. Like, what type of oils would I use for different types of moods and settings?
Okay, so for moods, like I said, I'm a go-to for lemongrass. That always is a pick me up for me. I also, while cleaning, use lemongrass or orange oil in any kind of heavy bleach or heavy chemical types of detergents or cleaners, so that it sets the mood overall in the house, right? So for lemongrass, it's a little bit more animating. It picks you up. It makes you feel good. It's a fresh, new, exciting type of smell. The same thing for orange, which is, it's not as sharp and citrusy as the lemongrass, but it still has that animating, pick me up kind of feel to it. And if you want something that's a little bit more calming, you just need to relax and want to get ready, get in the mood to go to bed, I would go with a lavender. And if you can't get to lavender, you can go with clary sage, which is a similar feel to it. These are all calming notes. And I like the flower oils, which are like neroli and rose oil, which are also more of a calming type feel. So on the spectrum of things, I'd say there's the exciting things and then there's the calming things. But in the middle, where they can also be common, are like the earth tones of like cedarwood and sandalwood, which are frankincense and myrrh. We're more familiar with those
Right.
fragrances, right? So those are more of the earth tones that have a calming effect to them as well.
That's awesome. So I definitely want to jump into like a demonstration. I know, we can't get out to a massage therapist, even though we would love to. But what are some techniques that we can do, like a self massage type of technique that we can do from home that can help us to, stay, you know, pain free, anxiety free, and just kind of calm and cool?
Okay, so different things for different people. Different people. I can give you that much. So now, if you're working from home and you are going to be there for a while, like some people I know, you always want to start with some hand exercises in the morning, right? So just doing these open and closes actually like get the blood flowing through the forearm. It might seem like nothing, but when I was in massage school, this is how we started class every day. And by the time you hit 500, your hands are, and you'll also feel that these muscles here are really engaged. These are the muscles that move your fingers. So you really want to get these going. That's the first thing, right? Then the next thing is you want to go ahead and give a turn to your wrist, right? What this does is open up those tunnels. People who type a lot usually have like some sort of like carpal tunnel.
I do.
Yeah. And so you want to kind of offset that by opening up your tunnels and warming the area, right? So that's what these movements do. Like when you bring blood to the area, turn the other way. When you bring blood into the area, it warms that area, and warmth keeps a good blood flow going, right? So that's what you want to do. And if you have any injuries, you want to do this very slowly, or if it's that painful, you shouldn't do it at all, right? And then the next thing is you want to get these muscles in bones moving. So you want to just get a nice stretch, deep stretch. Reach as far back and as far forward as you can go with your fingers, right? And you do this as long as you need. It's a nice, good stretch. Then we go ahead and get our thumbs going, right? And this is also a good prep for when you're doing self massage. So you want to do this before you get started so that you can get your hands like ready to do what it's about to do, right? So those are for the people who are going to do self massage and anyone that types. And a good way to offset any stress on your wrists is to make sure you have like a nice cushion
Mm-hmm.
under your wrists when you're typing if you're going to be working from home, right? And this is also really good for moms who have baby on one hip. If anything, you want to avoid hiking that hip to the side.
Right.
Everything else has to compensate for that. So you want to like stay firm planted and try to have a harness to help on the front or on the back of your body, so it's not having your hips out of place, right? And the next thing I would say is I'll show you a few like grips and stretches that'll help work in the neck and shoulder area, and particularly the neck and shoulder area, because when stress happens to us, the first thing we do is this. We don't even realize it. We're just now, we get turtle shell neck thing going on here, right? So just to get those shoulders relaxed and back and to offset any back pain, we want to first take our right hands and we're going to just press it onto our left shoulder. And what this is going to do is just relax it there for a moment, and you're going to just let your body know that something's about to happen, right? So it's not automatically startled, okay? And then you take your 5 fingers and you just squeeze and pull up, squeeze and pull up, and you go out towards your shoulder. It's not a very hard squeeze. If you have tighter muscles in your neck and shoulder, you may want to squeeze a little bit more, right? And then you just take it back up and bring it back out. And you can make a few passes on this until you feel like there's some relief there. For some people, they may feel more than others, but it really just depends on how tense you are, right? The next thing you want to do is take your thumb and put it at the front of the muscle and the other fingers on the back of the muscle, right? So it's like a grip. And then you kind of just want to squeeze and pull up, just an up and down motion, which kind of pushes your thumb into the front muscle, right? And you don't want to use too much pressure because that thumb is really strong, stronger than you think, right? So just getting into that larger part of the muscle is a great way to open it up. It's still a grip and squeeze, pull down, which pushes your thumb in, right? All right. So now you just kind of roll it out, get some things moving. For some people, you might hear like clicking, cracking, and that's because you're just opening up the area, which is the goal. The next thing, the next thing you would want to do is go ahead and stretch. Now, stretching also helps open up the passageways to let blood in, get that blood flowing, start making you feel good. You're going to just lean your head to the opposite shoulder to the right, right? So we're stretching the left by leaning our head to the opposite shoulder, right? And so we want to move through it, go into it slowly, come out of it slowly, go into it slowly, and come out of it slowly, right? And so when you do this, you can go ahead and anchor your shoulder down if you want a deeper stretch. Or if you can't reach across your body, you just want to anchor your shoulder down when you go the opposite direction and bring it back up when you bring your head to neutral, right? So you don't want to snap back quickly because it's kind of like a rubber band. When you pull it in 2 directions and you let go of one side really quickly, it hurts on the other side, right? So it's kind of the same thing. And every time you should feel a little bit more of a stretch. All right. And so after that, you can go ahead and shake it out a little bit, just a little bit of movement in your neck. And we can go ahead and would you like to do the other side?
Yeah.
So make sure you're even. I like to do both sides. Make sure you're even. So we're going to go back in with the placing your hand here, the light hold, and then go ahead and grip and squeeze upward. You're really lifting the muscle off the bone. And you're going out towards the shoulder.
Okay, so when you hear that crack in the opposite side, what is that? You said that just means it's opening up?
Yes. So typically we don't reach our arms across our body to function naturally, right? So bringing your arm across your body stretches the muscles in the back, right? And so if all the muscles that bone may be attached to are going to open up. Clicking and cracking is a good thing in this case.
Okay.
All right. And now we want to go in with the thumb to the front of the muscle and the 4 fingers on the back and push in and up, in and up. Lightly here. Well, for me, lightly, I have a little bit more tension on this side. So when you have more tension, you'll feel a little bit more sensitivity. And that's usually because, like, I'm right-handed. I do everything with my right hand, so it does a lot more than the left side of my body. If you sleep on your right side, you'll also feel this. And if you do, maybe you have a right side injury, this side should get a little bit more attention, right?
Right.
All right. And so just roll that out. I had a lot of cracking on my right side. You roll that out, and now you should feel a little bit warm. So now we're going to go ahead and go right into your head towards your opposite shoulder to get a stretch on the right side, right? So left ear to left shoulder, and you can anchor your shoulder down for a deeper stretch, right? So you go into it slowly, and you come out of it slowly. You can go into it slowly and out of it slowly. And if you want to work more muscles in the neck, you could just turn your head 45 degrees angle. So if you're working, you want to stretch the right, you turn your head to the left, no further than the front of your shoulder, and lean, and you'll get a deeper stretch. It will stretch some different muscles, but you'll definitely get a stretch all through here and up through the
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Right? So that's another variation of that stretch that you can do. And the last thing I would suggest is to work towards the back of the neck. You would just take your hands lightly, cuff, and you're going to pull forward lightly while your head falls backward, right? So just pulling forward a few times. And the good thing about this is that you don't need any oils for this, right? So the natural oils on your skin should be enough to get a nice glide going. And if you did want to use oils, all you have to do is just make sure you remove a few layers of clothing so that you don't get any oil on your clothes.
Right.
Yeah. All right. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you should feel pretty warm at this point.
I feel warm.
Yeah. So things are moving, bones are clicking and cracking, and that's a good thing. And if anything, a small routine like that can be the difference between someone being like completely in pain and just like calming down just a little, like the pain will calm down a little bit.
Taking the edge off at least, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like the direct intensity of any pain or stress that you might be feeling. So usually like aromas, if it's more stress, aromas have a great way, whether it's infusing in oil or it's just a raw essential oil, which I always suggest that you mix it in with like olive oil or a jojoba oil. I'd say that those are really great at changing your mood only because they penetrate through the nose, which is directly connected to the brain. Like you instantly feel different from oils, right? Taking
Right.
deep breaths. So this is good for anyone who has old injuries, they have pain, sedentary lifestyle, they're not moving as much as they used to. Great for moms, busy corporate women, dad doing the heavy lifting. And the best part, it's good for children.
Right.
Yes, it's good for children. Even though we just did a self massage, if you ever get good at using your hands like this, doing it on children calms them down. It puts them to sleep, especially babies.
Please tell me something. Give me some pointers. We need a separate sidebar session. I need help. I need help. But so I did want to move into another discussion. I know you mentioned infusing. So this is, a cannabis health fair. So some of our viewers may want to like infuse their different creams and oils that they may want to do self-massage with. So what are your experiences and advice on that?
Okay, as far as infusion, I've had nothing but great things. I mean, it's the first time I infused oil with any herb, cannabis particularly, and I always blend my own oils for massage. So when I tried the potency of the oils that I created, it's usually a great conversation going on with massage, and then I'm just like hearing snores. Like it works amazing to calm your entire body down, like muscle, your body's pretty much ready for sleep. And the great thing about that is it has this direct effect on your central nervous system. Once again, your central nervous system is what has us like overwhelmed and on edge if it's ever like in a gear. So using oils are a great way to get rid of muscle pain if you have any. It calms the body down and it gets you really mellow and really ready for sleep, right? So even if you don't want to sleep, it calms you down. And that's the key to, being in a new situation or in a high anxiety or a high stress situation. Right. So I found that with the uses of oil and massage, I got more people to fall asleep and really accept their massage. Like their bodies completely gave in to the massage, which is a good thing. And also, they're like, that's the best sleep I've had in forever. Right. So it doesn't want, like, it feels like a good night's rest and it's just an hour. So infusing oils are a great way to get yourself prepared for sleep, in a deep sleep at that. Depending on the a lighter potency, of course, it's a great way for adults, and lighter potency for or children or babies. It's a great bath oil. Just a few drops of any cannabis infused oil in the bath, sitting in a warm bath. Bath oil for baby right before bed, and for adults soaking in the tub. This is a great way to calm your body completely. This is your mind, your muscles, everything ready to relax. So like those are my experiences with making or infusing oils for relaxation and mental wellness.
Awesome. I love that. So, I mean, you definitely shared some great tips. I hope, hopefully, everyone, got a good look at that demonstration. I do want to talk to you about your Karma Wellness app. Can you tell us a little bit about the work you're doing there?
Okay, so the Karma Wellness app, it came about because I realized that a lot of women were so consumed with being women and
Right.
not enough time to really take care of themselves. They took care of everyone else, mom, corporate woman, and no one takes care of her, or she doesn't take the time to take care of herself. So really what the Karma Wellness app is, it's for women who need to take care of themselves in small doses. So it doesn't take a lot to take care of yourself or to see the difference of having a wellness routine, right? So the app will cover movement, which is like yoga, stretching, and then it'll cover stillness, which is more meditative practice and just calming your mind in your space. It will also cover sounds, which will help penetrate the mind for clarity, focus, and it will also cover self care massage. So any kind of self demonstrations, deeper demonstrations on how to deal with typing, working on yourself if you're an athlete, getting into those muscles and making sure you're ready to tackle your day all over again. So typically, the app will cover classes that are like 15 to 20 minutes long, something you can do on your break and still grab something to eat.
That sounds great. Can you tell everybody where to find it?
Sure. Right now, we are working on the beta version of our app, and you can find us on Instagram at Karma Wellness App.
That is awesome. Well, Jessica, thank you so much for your time. We definitely want to check that out on Instagram. Any last words for our audience today?
No, thank you. I hope you can implement some of the things that I taught you today, do it a few times around, and get you a new wellness routine.
All right, that sounds great. We hope to hear from you and also see your Karma Wellness app soon. So we'll talk to you later. Thank you.